Well, no, if we're trying to clean up or rearrange our world so that it is more supportive and kind to us, then that is worth it.
Welcome to the Web of Life podcast. I'm your host, Cody Alexander. I'm a Spirit Bridge practitioner and a minister in training with Web of Life Animist Church. This podcast is intended as an introduction for you, our listener, to the practice of spirit bridging. These episodes are small groupings of stories revealed through the journeys of our spirit bridges that all share common themes or points of focus of the journeyer, which are then offered to you as an opportunity for you to see how they can apply to your own life. Today's episode has a focus on empathy and energetic boundaries. Before we hear the journey stories from our spirit bridges, we will hear a short soundscape and some words of guidance from the founder of Web of Life Church, Quinn Red Mountain. Quinn sets the stage for our soundscape and offers some words on how to use the sound to get the most out of your practice. The soundscape you'll hear is the same one used by the spirit bridges, who we'll hear from later in the podcast. As you listen, do your best to keep some awareness on the words being spoken and to allow the imagery presented to play out in your mind. You might even close your eyes if it is safe for you to do so at this time. Breathe slowly and deeply and notice how you feel in your body as certain words are spoken. Notice any thoughts or feelings that come up for you in response to the things being said and any imagery that's illustrated here. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. We wish you well on your journey.
So I have a piece of sound. It is a heartbeat, kind of a resting heartbeat sound, blended with like a rushing river. So it's kind of that solid, it's not so much the trickle of the brook or the stream, but more of like the moving water with some sounds of a few ravens, birds. It's kind of like a river scene on top of a heartbeat. So this introspection time, some possible ways that you could use the sound is maybe for a sensory experience, maybe from your heart out, or you could do some kind of scan, ask for a mentor or an ally to help you, at least one, to notice your energy field from your skin out, which might be like a buffer zone. What's the state of that energy field out here? How far does it go? Are there places that it's real thin? Are there places where it feels vibrant? And then ask for help from your ally about what can be done to enhance it or clear it. Maybe it's full of stuff to clear, and you could use your imagination about how would I clear this? Maybe you have to pick some things out of it. Maybe your ally does. Maybe there is a energy field comb. Maybe you have a special one in your pocket, right? That you brush out anything that doesn't belong there. Or how would you infuse any place in your body where maybe is there color? Is there an energy resonance of any place with color or energy that need a bit of infusion? And then how might you do that? Might you breathe that in? So it's like your body is here and you can perceive around you, right? So it's like you're in it and you're observing it. Try that out, see how that might feel. Or if you feel like you need to stay in your body, that you could ask your ally to move around and perceive. And remember, like the bottom of your feet matter, your backside, the whole backside matter that we never look at. So what is the status of back here? And maybe breathe into it. Maybe you let the sound of the heartbeat amplify it or strengthen it. And what are we strengthening? We're strengthening this buffer field, our boundary, our energetic. It's not a hard one line boundary, right? It's more like a filtering system, maybe. and just a read on what is right now. Notice any places where you perceive is a little less than you would or different than you would prefer, to just regulate those feelings, and then offer love and compassion, just like we say we want to offer to other people, to ourselves, to your body. Maybe there's something in your body that needs attention, that is affecting out here. Maybe your brain, your thoughts. It's like this is the time to scan, to notice, and to do any kind of actions, or ask your ally to do actions that can assist your empathetic filtering system, which is your energy body. And you might have another way that you prefer to talk about it. There's no way to screw this up. And if you hear any voice or have any kind of feeling that, oh, I can't do this, or I'm not good at this, that voice is a problem, and that does not belong, right? So don't let those kind of voices just run amok and do whatever they want. Take notes afterwards if there's anything that you want to remember. I'll see you on the other side.
Now, take a moment to offer some gratitude for whatever came through for you in your experience. You might take a moment to pause this audio and write down or take note in some way any aspects of your experience that stood out for you. And as we move forward to hearing the stories from our spirit bridges, be aware of anything they speak that feels similar or resonates with your own experience.
I don't mind sharing. Very soothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Felt very primal at the same time. The first thing I heard when I went in was peace, be peace. That was like the first couple of minutes or whatever. And then the whole rest of the journey, it was the heartbeat was saying, speak up, speak up, speak up. There's always that same line in my journey experiences. I tried to connect with an ally and I requested some help and I couldn't get there. I couldn't get to that deep part.
Did you feel like you saw her or felt her?
I felt her. I felt her. Yeah. Yeah. I felt her like it was a kind of a little bit of a yellow light coming or whatever. So maybe she was the ally. I don't know.
I guess they felt
Oh, they
them.
sorry, Asa. Apologies.
Yeah.
So that was my experience today.
First, I had a sense of the bubble of energy around my body, and it was a bubble, but also not like a bubble in the sense of having like a firm edge. It looked like kind of this ombre gradient of color, and there was blue, and it went into this warm, rosy color, and then some gold and some white, and it just was very soft and comforting and warm and extended out from my body until it just kind of got really thin. And yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it transitioned into I was standing in this stream in a rainforest, and there was this really cool, refreshing water that was running over my feet, and I could feel the stones around me, and they were nice and cool, and I could smell the damp earth. And there was like in one moment where I was like breathing in all this really just beautiful, fresh, nourishing oxygen into my cells, and just like really felt that as a gift of this forest, and was admiring the waxy leaf litter all around on the ground. And there was this beautiful, soft, gentle, dappled sunlight that was coming in where I was standing. And then there was this duplicate version of myself that came, and I was standing there naked, and my duplicate self came and stood back to back with me, and we both had our arms outstretched kind of in a T, mirroring each other. And then that self peeled off and was doing some sort of like medicine work to my physical body, but also just tending to me. And so they went through and put their hands around every part of my body, and I could feel it all up and down my back, down my butt, down my legs, and then up all along the front to the top of my head. So it just felt very nurturing and loving. And then a tiger kind of walked out of the bushes, laid down, and just started licking itself and licking its paw. And then this big snake came and wound up one of my legs and then around my body in this really tight coil. And it was this big, hefty, thick-bodied snake. So I was really snuggled in there, and it went up my chest and around, and then it just put its big head right on top of my head. And we just stood there together in the sunlight, and I just was feeling really safe and protected and calm. It was this really nice full body pressure, which is cool because I do find pressure like that comforting. And then there were just these little butterflies that came and were landing, and I could feel all their little legs on my bare skin in these like really soft, delicate kind of kisses. It was a really lovely experience.
So I had like 5 bands of light that I was seeing, and my guides were helping me to utilize this light. I had a black band on my base chakra, red around my solar plexus area, and then I had a gold around my heart chakra, and these went all the way around my body, and then silver in my throat and white in my crown. And they were utilizing movement and being able to move all of these lights as energies, which released a lot of the toxic energies or dark energies that may have been surrounding me, and released a whole lot of energetic activity that I didn't need. I noticed they were able to utilize the light that flowed several feet on top of my head and underneath my feet with it. So there's like 12 feet above and below, as well as around my body. And the lights would come and get closer to me and move through me and in me and around me. And then it would overflow from my crown chakra. It was really a powerful experience.
Well, I think for everyone, something came that gave you a nugget, a little thread to hold on to or to work with or to pull or to follow. And so there's one thing I wanted to say about ourselves with our empathy and our empathic nature is it is a sensitivity. We can perceive things that maybe others say they don't, maybe they don't. Not everyone has extensive creative abilities. Not everyone can work with plants, right? And so there are different ability sets. I do feel that this empathy thing is very challenging for people because they're not taught about how to work with it. And so then people do behaviors to manage it, which often just dulls it, right? And that's their maintenance method. That's it. But for any of us who are interested in enhancing, protecting, directing, working with our sensitivities, including empathy, is that there are times when we need to advocate for ourselves. Like something isn't working for us, especially in a consistent situation, either at home, at work, all kinds of situations where often we, and I'll say, with women, we're taught to just go along or put up with stuff rather than speak up. And those choices do affect our empathy, especially when it's something that's not working for you. Figure out a way. So that's true with all of us. How can, with compassion or with a fierce honesty, but loving, whatever the combo might need to be, that if something isn't working for us and there's something that we can perceivably or hopefully do about it, to at least let it be known, hey, this ain't working for me, or this needs to change for it to work for me, then that is something that we can do on our own behalf. It might not be about speaking, it might be an action that we need to take. Like if and when we find that, oh, I love this kind of food, but every time I eat it, I feel like shit. Well, then we need to do something about that rather than to say, well, this is life. I feel like shit after eating. Well, no, if we're trying to clean up or rearrange our world so that it is more supportive and kind to us, then that is worth it.
Web of Life is an animist church located in Tucson, Arizona, which is Odom and Pascua Yaqui land and shares digital space with people around the world. We strive to share our animist understanding with all earth-honoring people and beyond. And as members of this earth community of interwoven lives, we commit to contributing to the wellness of the whole, because we all belong. If you would like to journey on your own, you can find audio opportunities to do so at weboflifeanimists.com under offerings. One-on-one support and live offerings are also available. Check our website calendar of live events for details. Thank you for your trust and attention. We're looking forward to our next encounter.